G'day fellas, welcome to a casted game between Harrison, who's going to be spawning in the east of the map. He's going to be playing on his world-famous Indians. For anybody wondering, Harrison is an Indian main. This is his main civ that he plays. So if we spot anything curious that happens with him, we're going to be making sure to ridicule him a lot. His opponent spawning in the west of the map is Lawnmower Simulator. Now, Lawnmower Simulator is one of those guys that you may not have heard of before. He's an up-and-coming player, relatively new on the ladder. So if you're watching this game and you're wondering, you know, that lawn mowing simulator guy, he seems pretty good. I want to see more of him. Let me know in the comments, because I've got a couple more things from this guy. I'm not too sure whether we're going to bother casting them or not, but let me know. I'd be curious to see. Harrison actually in the chat saying, show me mercy right now. So begging for a little bit of mercy here, saying I'm noob. Now, for anybody wondering about the lore of this situation, this particular replay was posted onto ESOC, and Harrison actually deleted the replay. So I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen in this replay. I'm kind of looking forward to it, because it is one of those games where it's like, you know, if Harrison has deleted it from being potentially, you know, out in the public, it's got to be good. Even saying Lawnmower Simulator, even saying Gonna Ego Record, I guess that probably explains it a little bit. We take a look down here towards the south, and Lawnmower Simulator is going to be very careful here, because he's looking to take on this lion, but we just see that he's having a lot of trouble. His Explorer's already quite low HP, but we're playing on the map here. I want to say it's, is it Gold Coast? I'm not too sure. I can't remember the exact name of the African map, but one of the things to note about this map, obviously it's got the large lake down towards the south of the map. But the big thing for this map is that it's got gold mines. Gold mines absolutely everywhere. So a gold mine down here, gold mines to the north as well, gold mine in the base, gold mine up here, gold mine down on these islands. Gold mines absolutely everywhere. And speaking of gold mine, that's a boab tree. So for anybody who's unfamiliar, a boab tree, these are actually native to Australia. So there's different types of boab trees. But we have one in Australia, and this one actually looks very similar. Lawnmower asking, excited for Lawnmower DLC? I know I am. I know I am. So for anybody unfamiliar, I actually did a deployment in Australia over on a military base over in Western Australia, and out in the remote outback region, and there's a boab tree exactly like this that is used for as a prison, or it was used as a prison. It's not a prison anymore, you know, because we've evolved from using trees as prisons. But back in the day, they actually used a boab tree. It was so thick. It was such a thick boy, and it was hollowed out in the middle. They used it as a prison, which is pretty crazy. And you know, this particular tree was a you know, it was a very particularly girthy tree, which is why it was used. There you go, a little bit of background information as to sort of the boab tree and my history behind it. So let's take a look over at the decks that we've got. So Lawn Mowing Simulator, we'll take a look and see what he's up to. His deck name is called Mercs for Jerks. So I'm wondering what he's going to be doing here, Mercs for Jerks. I'm seeing a couple of interesting cards in here. Most importantly, Town Militia, going to keep him safe until he hits that Fortress Age. He's got Silversmith in the deck, also going to be accessing the Royal Mint. So a lot of economic cards focused on collecting gold or coin. Also has Textile Mill as well as Rum Distillery in here. No Cigar Roller in, but still a lot of cards that are going to be boosting up that all-important gold trickle rate. Heading out here a little bit further with a Settler as well. Just doing a little bit of herding right now. Grabbing his market upgrades as well. Gangsaw coming in. Going to be aging up with the Quartermaster. We take a look over at Harrison, his opponent. Keep in mind, Harrison is an India main, so if we do see anything out of the ordinary, we're going to be making sure that we do report it. Harrison, got to be careful here, Harrison. Harrison, Hyena is a very spicy meatball. Harrison, oh, Harrison, what are you doing to me? Harrison losing an Explorer. Not what you expect from one of the world's best players right here, especially one of the world's best India players as well. So there you go. Let's take a look at his deck. We'll see what he's got going for him. Deck is called 1v1 Land. Very, very standard deck. But one of the curious things to note about this map is that there is water. So you know, it's a bit strange to see him with a 1v1 Land deck, but nonetheless, he's doing well. We can see that he's macroing towards some Sepoys at this point. So probably going to be aging up here at a relatively competitive time, maybe about 4:30, 4:40, because he is only going up with one villager tapping on this bad boy, but probably going to have some sepoys out relatively soon. When it comes to what he can actually do, I wouldn't be surprised to see him, you know, going for something like the 300 export to open with, the diplomatic intrigue, then potentially allying with the Ottoman consulate. The alternatives that he could be doing are things like going foreign logging. But I guess one of the things to note is that Lawnmower Simulator has gotten a little bit close and realized, hold on a minute, we've got an explorer down over here. We're gonna be just trying to put as much damage onto it as we can. 4:47 was the age up time for Harrison. So going to be training some sepoys now. He's got a villager in queue as well. Probably going to be dropping down a house very shortly. And Lawnmower Simulator making sure to let go of those explorers. And indeed, we do see that diplomatic intrigue going to be coming in from the home city. We take a look back over at Lawnmower Simulator and oh my lord, is this Kinesi? I've got a feeling this may be Kinesi. When I see walls that look this good, this kind of makes me think of Kinesi. So I played a game against Kinesi. One of the very first games I played against Kinesi was a team game. And he walled the entire map exactly like this. So whenever I see walls like this, you know what? This isn't Kinesi. You know how I know? Kinesi wouldn't have a hole in his wall like that. And that hole looks big enough to fit an army through. You could fit a Tominator through that one. But double trading post going to be going up now for Lawnmower Simulator. Sepoy is going to begin sieging down that trading post. And look how much damage it's already taken up, down to 2100 health at this point. And now we're going to be seeing a little bit more of some curious action because our tower has been dropped down for Lawnmower Simulator. So not the first time that we've seen towers in replays. There was a recent game that we covered, and that it featured very significantly a number of towers. A church has also gone up, so obviously as the Germans, you're going to be receiving your shipments a lot slower than other civilizations. You can mitigate it by getting a church. It's going to increase the speed that you're getting your shipments, but at the same time, it's not really going to help out a huge amount for the Germans. 700 wood now going to be coming in, so it looks like we may be seeing a toxic semi-FF because 3 settler wagons did come in first, but we haven't seen any stable yet. It's just been really, you know, invested in on infrastructure. No military production buildings at this point. We take a look back over at Harrison, see what he's up to. So Harrison behind this, going to be sending through the sepoys, or rather training the sepoys. We'll take a look at his deck, see what he sends through as the next card. Probably going to be 5 sepoys or 4 Sawas here. That's what I'm feeling right now. Allying with the British consulate. And is he going all in? I feel like this could potentially be all in. So normally you wouldn't do it this way unless you were thinking about, you know, really committing hard. So I suspect it might be a case that Harrison is looking to commit hard here. So he's going to be able to time. He's got the sepoy batch as well as potentially... whereas the consulate up here, so the musketeers as well to come in. So for a pretty nice timing push, we're at 7 minutes at the moment. So about, you know, 7:30, he should be marching in with about 25, 30 musketeers. So not too bad. It's about the same that the African civilizations would march in at about 5 minutes 20, 5 minutes 30. So instead of sending in 700 coin here, it looks like we've got a bit of a silversmith play. So this is something that we've actually seen with Germany quite a bit. Now, the reason why silversmith works so well with Germany is first and foremost, you want a lot of gold as Germany. But second of all, you start with the 2 settler wagons and the 3 settler wagon card in your deck. So technically this is like a 4 and a 6 villager shipment. So most civilizations would get a 3 and a 5. So they're 2 villages up. And if you can put those 2 villages onto coin, and then you can get the upgrades as well, then it's kind of like 2.5 villages on coin extra that you're getting. So it really works out to be quite strong. And so that's part of the reason why we see so many German players going for that silversmith upgrade. Speaking of silversmith upgrade, it looks like a villager potentially going to get picked off here. Doesn't have the greatcoats. No upgrade in from the market, and we do see those muskets out, the red coats from the British consulate. But looks like the Uhlans are going to be forced back. And Lawnmower Simulator just being ever so careful to just move away his explorer right before the army moves in. But take a look at the size of this army for Harrison. It's pretty formidable. 26 military units. We're at 8 minutes at the moment. He's looking pretty decent, so a nice builder he's worked out. Going to move his army in and gets a great attack move off there, just spreading out the damage onto all those Uhlans. And one more volley, and it's just going to take out all of these. And Lawnmower Simulator just realizes, he said, you know what, there's no point. I'm not going to bother keeping these guys alive, and just sacrifices them himself. He's got an Uhlan back in the base of Harrison at the moment. I'm not sure if Harrison realizes this, or if he's just ignoring it potentially. Going to be sending in 4 Soas now as well. So relatively good trade there for Lawnmower Simulator. And when I say relatively good trade, I mean it was an absolutely terrible trade. It was about, you know, he got 4 hits off, maybe 5 hits on the Sepoys and the muskets, so not particularly strong. Third age now going up for Lawnmower Simulator. Going to be going up with the Exiled Prince, and we do see a saloon being dropped down. I want to say saloon, but I think it's been renamed. I can't remember exactly what it's been renamed to. I'm going to have to try and remember exactly what it is now. One of the things to note with this specifically is that we've got gold mines in bases. Now, gold mines are particularly strong just because it means that the German player doesn't have to leave his base. So he can put up outposts, and he can protect this gold mine. He doesn't have to leave his base to go and get more gold. And that's part of the reason why on this map in particular, the Germans are very strong, and mercenary strats are also really, really strong with the Germans. We see that there are more gold mines outside of his base, so he's got a gold mine up towards the north here. He's not even going to need this because he's got 5,000 coin on this. So that's 2.5 silver mines that he's got. Harrison going to begin pushing in at this point. Age 3 now reached for Lawnmower Simulator. He's only going to be making Swiss pikes, so it looks like his rolls in the tavern weren't the strongest. Swiss pikes, obviously not the best unit that you want against Sepoys. Ideally, you would like something like Jaegers, something like Highlanders, even Fusiliers. You know, you would kind of take them at this point, but you know, the Swiss pike is relatively cheap, but it's not going to really even matter because Lawnmower Simulator is going to be losing his saloon here, or his tavern. Soa's in here as well, just looking for villagers, looking to find something. We spot that there are villages that are idled up in the town center at the moment. A couple more villages down towards the south, I'm suspecting. We do see the Soas that are moving down, and a quick wall did try and go up, or I say quick wall, but it was more just a wall, did try and get up here. And it looks like the wall's not going to be able to make it up in time because the Soas have gotten through onto the coin mine. We can see he got about 200 coin off this one, and now just getting completely idled. One of the fortunate things is that he has managed to get this wall up right before the Sepoy did come through. So if he'd marched these Sepoy down this way, he would have been in a bit more of a difficult spot because he would have been able to pick them off. And you can see Harrison actually regretting that, walking back around, but they're going to be able to make it to the outpost in time. He is gathering up more coin. He's up on wood as well at this point. And sending in doppels. It looks like he's got 5 doppels. He did cancel these doppels and then resent them. So it's important to note that Harrison has left the base, but that's not because he didn't, you know, he felt threatened. It was simply because he wasn't able to get those villagers down here towards the south. These villagers are now going to be gathering up wood instead. And we see that the doppels have been cancelled, and Royal Mint now going to be coming in as well as the first card in the Fortress Age. This is incredibly greedy. A re-wall is going to be going up now for the Lawnmower Simulator, and doing quite well. 700 coin going to be coming in for Harrison. So a good spot he would be in at this point, I would say. Harrison looking pretty good. He's opened well. He's on 27 villages, so I'd say he's feeling pretty good. All right. Harrison going to be looking to pick up an 85 experience treasure here. Learning his lesson and making sure he brought a few military units with him. We remember what happened earlier at the treasure over here towards the west of the map. But now Harrison going to begin to exert pressure upon the map. He's got a house down here providing line of sight, but he's doing the right thing. You want to be cleaning up these walls. Don't leave these walls up if you can. You know, you want to be burning these down if you're not applying pressure elsewhere. This is kind of dangerous, though. You don't really want to be pushing into this. 3 towers, a town center, and then the risk is, you know, as we saw that was happening, there was the constant risk of those doppels popping out. And now Harrison would have checked the deck. He would have realized, okay, there's 5 doppels in here. And you might not think 5 doppels is a big deal, but when you land 5 doppels on top of this army, because this army is going to be, you know, in underneath sieging outposts, and when you land them on top of that, it's pretty difficult. You know, this is probably enough units to snipe out a single doppel, but the risk is if it's not, then they're going to be getting in a lot of swings. Harrison being very, very cheeky here, picking off that Ulan in melee mode with his villagers. Still no spirit medicine for the villagers. Is this the real Harrison? Is this the real Harrison? I feel like the real Harrison at this point would have got spirit medicine at this point, would have got the villager upgrade, would have had a little bit more HP, but I don't know. Maybe it's not him. Maybe it's not him. Charminar Gate going to be going up for Harrison. And speaking of Harrison, oh my lord, Harrison, wake up, son, because your villagers are going down. Not only are your villagers going down, but they're deciding to do that classic thing that they do in Age of Empires 3 and path very curiously. We've got some Soas moving back to protect the villagers, but 2 villagers already going down to 28 villagers. 3rd villager now going to be going down. These Ulans just looking to sneakily get away. Going to grab another 4th villager here. Still no spirit medicine for Harrison, Merison for Haddison. There, it's a bit of a tongue twister right there, but looks like these Ulans going to get cleaned up by the Soar. And Harrison just doing his best now. Going to, again, look to push forward. The Explorer for Lawnmower Simulator does go down. Once again, looking to get up this Akan settlement. I think it's Akan. Yeah, it's an Akan settlement. There is a Yoruba settlement here to the north as well, but he's not interested in that. Part of the reason why he is so interested in the Akan is because the Akan have got access to a number of different technologies, but the most important one for him that he needs very, very soon is the gold mine. That's correct. You can pay money and you can get a gold mine delivered to your base. So it's like a little wagon, and it will provide you 5,000 gold. Obviously, you've got to mine that gold, but we can see that he's down to about 2,200 gold at this point. So he's still got a bit of time before he needs to get in and really, you know, secure that, because it does research quite quickly. But definitely that is the main reason why he's constantly over here. This is the second time that Harrison has denied this trading post. So doing a pretty decent job of just sort of being all-round annoying for Lawnmower Simulator. More Ulans now coming out towards the south, and one of the things to note is that we've got double walls up here for Lawnmower Simulator. The only thing I'm a bit scared of is this wall might be a little bit too close to this second wall here, and there's splash damage that happens when you siege a wall. I don't know whether it's intentional. I think it's something that just sort of happens. We've actually got Zambaraks now coming out for Lawnmower Simulator, or for Harrison. So a pretty wise decision here. Zambarak's going to have much higher speed than Ulans. We can see 7.5 movement speed compared to the Ulans, which are not out at the moment. But I think they've got 6.75. Here we go. Yeah, 6.75 movement speed. So they do outspeed them. One of the things to note, Barbary Corsairs have a base of 6 movement speed, but that can be improved with things like the Advanced Arsenal or the Unique Church Card, which we may see in this game. Harrison potentially going to be losing a couple more villages up here to the north, doing that beautiful pathing thing that they always do. More Zambaraks now coming in to save the day, though. First villager has gone down. Second villager going down as well. And Zambaraks should be able to clean up the last Ulan before it takes down any more villagers. I say that, but oh, it's close. It was close. Harrison down to 28 villagers. We do a quick stock take. 28 villagers of Harrison up against his opponent, who's on 33. But keep in mind, he's got settler wagons out. So technically, the equivalent of 41 settlers. On top of that, also has double upgrades here. So Royal Mint as well as Silversmith. Compare that to Harrison, who's sitting on 29 villages. No real economic upgrades in at the moment. Doesn't even have that foreign logging in it. He's got distributivism, so potentially looking at about 30 villages at the moment. But now Barbary Corsair is going to be coming in, applying a little bit of pressure to those villages, doing well. And now we see the trading post has gotten up. Lawnmower Simulator has done it. Did he get off that research? He hasn't got it off just yet. This is the one that he needs right now. He's trying so hard. You see him. Is he going to get it? It doesn't look like he's bothering to research it. I think he knows that the Gold Prospector wagon isn't going to be able to come out in time. And so he doesn't bother researching it. So denied a third time. Harrison doing a great job of just being on top of this native embassy, realizing the threat that they do provide. Now, keep in mind, the natives in the African maps are much stronger than the Africans in the Africans in the normal maps. No, than the natives in the normal maps. And that's just simply because they're, in my opinion, they're designed a lot more dynamically. They've got a lot more to offer you as a civilization. And to be honest, I really hope that they revisit the old natives or the the older natives, because I tell you what, the Yoruba, the Akan, they're just such good natives. All the new ones, the Berbers, really, really nice natives. And now we've got some Zambaraks here looking to try and clean up these Barbary Corsairs. But you got to keep in mind, these guys have got a 3 times multiplier against cavalry. They're basically Rodilleros on steroids, or Imperial Rodilleros. And take a look how he's running him around. He's giving him the old runaround at the moment. Got to be careful, though, because we've got Harrison, who has sent in the Urumi. They're kind of they're a little bit strange, the Urumi. I'll say that much. If you're familiar with the Devrish, the Sudanese Devrish, it's like the opposite version of that. You can see these guys actually hit in melee, but they do range damage. The Devrish hit in ranged, but they do melee damage. So it's very similar, but these guys do have a 1.75 bonus against heavy infantry, and that is indeed what these mercenary units are. They are heavy infantry, so he's going to have no problem cleaning these up. The only issue is whether he's going to catch them or not, and we can see just the fact that he's running him around right now, giving him the real runaround, and those Barbary Corsairs have been caught. Let's see if they get their whips out. There they go. So they apply a snare as well to the Barbary Corsairs. We can see they're reducing the speed of them. So doing a great job here, just really getting on top and going to be able to clean that up. But at the same time, we've got Barbary Corsairs everywhere. Harrison is getting the complete runaround right now, down to 23 villages. He's having a tough time. He does retain the mass, though. That's the thing. He's got a significant mass. He has done a pretty good job of making sure he's got Disciplined Zambarak out. But one of the things to note, Lawnmower Simulator has got that native trading post up once again, the 4th time in the game. Has he been able to get out the gold mine? It does look like he's got the gold mine out. We actually see the gold prospector wagon coming out right now for him. 900 coin left on this gold mine, so he's exhausted 2 silver mines worth. He's down to the last 1,000, and he gets the gold mine out. So feeling very good. We see all of the villagers out here gathering wood at the moment, and they're going to be coming back to get on this gold mine. One of the things to note, look how fast these villagers gather. 1.11 per second. The standard villager gather rate is 0.6. These guys are gathering 85% faster than a normal villager. That is insanity. That is so crazy how much these are gathering. Anyway, we now see that he's going to be getting a Khan Fon Monton. I don't know exactly what that does. That's going to be providing him something else in the form of a bonus. But Harrison now going to be pushing in. We take a look at his perspective. We just see the amount of units he's got here. He's going to attempt to be idling, or attempt to idle Lawnmower Simulator. Doesn't look like he's got any outposts down here towards the south. Going to be losing potential villagers on this coin mine to the north, so not opting to put it down here towards the south. And Zambarak's just doing a great job of getting underneath the town center and really idling those villages. You've got to be careful, though. There's a lot of Barbary Corsairs out here right now. These Barbary Corsairs have got 8.1 movement speed. They're just getting absolutely on top. Minutemen getting called up towards the north as well. Barbary Corsairs looking to clean up Sepoy on the back line, but at the same time, we've got Barbary Corsairs now moving in towards the front. They're going to be aiming to clean up the front line as well. How many Barbary Corsairs are in here? We're up to 30 Barbary Corsairs. This is a huge amount of Corsairs getting on top of the Sepoy, doing a great job. They've got 20% melee resist compared to the 40% of the Barbary Sepoys, or the Barbary Corsairs, rather. And look how fast they are. They're chasing away the Sepoys, or the Zambarak at the north here. Look how quick it goes. Look at it. Look at him go. Look at him chase it down. They're going so bloody fast. That is ridiculous. So that's 8.1 movement speed right there. So that is a combination of the Treaty of Westphalia as well as the advanced arsenal upgrade that's got the military drummers. So these guys have got a base movement speed of 6.0, and then it goes up to 8.1 with those 2 upgrades. So now going to be pushing out Lawnmower Simulator. And Lawnmower Simulator actually saying in the chat, nice right there. So, going to be just... look at them go. They're double the speed right now. They are more than double the speed of the Sepoys of his opponent. You know, how do you even keep up with these? He was having trouble when these guys were on 6 movement speed. Now they're on 8. They actually outrun the Zambarak. And so, it's a difficult spot for him. Harrison calling the good game and calling it quits. Fellas, I hope you've enjoyed this casted game. If you'd like to see more of Lawnmower Simulator or Big Harrison, make sure that you mention that in the comments. If you'd like to see more stuff from Harrison, I'm going to leave a link to his Twitch down in the description. So make sure you head over, give him a follow whenever he's live. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one.